Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Trinity University's Laurie Auditorium. I'm Corey Cook, your host tonight for our live broadcast for the South Texas Jazz Project with San Antonio's own West Side Horns. And what has come to be known as the West Side Sound, it's a sound native to San Antonio and South Texas, and from the roots of Latin American musical traditions, blues and jazz to funk, R&B, and soul. The West Side Sound is multicultural music, and its origins, dating back decades, lie right here in San Antonio. Tonight, we'll talk about the artists associated with those origins and hear music and conversation from the latest ensemble representing the West Side Sound. With leader and saxophonist Henry Rivas, the West Side Horns, live from Laurie Auditorium on KRTU and the South Texas Jazz Project.
How you doing? How you doing? Are you happy? Lee.
All right. The West Side Horns on KRTU and the South Texas Jazz Project. And I wanted to ask Henry just a couple questions before we get started for our first official set. First of all, that was the Ebony Shuffle. Was that a Spot Barnett tune? I think you recorded that one.
Yeah, it's an old song. It's a standard, pretty much standard.
A blues standard. So could you introduce the band to everyone?
All right. On guitar, we got JP, Jean-Philippe. Right. On drums, we got Eddie Rivas, my little brother Eddie. On keyboards, we got Mr. Chris Villanueva. Saxophone, Mr. Jay Ford. We got special guest, Mr. Dr. Adrian Reese on trumpet. And my nephew, Brandon Rivas on bass. Right? All right. Are you ready to have some fun?
I had a quick question before you get started about, you just got back from Canada. I understand you went with Al as the West Side Horns, Al Gomez.
Representing West Side.
Yeah. So I just wanted to point that out because, you know, there are people as far north as Canada who know this sound and love the sound of Texas music and the West Side Horns. So how do people receive the music while you're over there?
Beautiful. It's a beautiful place. A lot of friendly people, and they love the culture. West Side Horns played out there. We were there for 10 days, and just beautiful place to go and visit. And there you go. You know, I miss. Except I got to come back and have tacos. You know, I miss the Mexican food here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Henry Rivas and the West Side Horns.
A little song called Caldo de Hueso. You gave me nothing, nothing but the blues. You gave me nothing but the blues, baby, but I still go for you. You always lie to me, always been untrue. You always lie to me, always been untrue. You gave me nothing but the blues, baby, but I still go for you. Come on now, Jesse. The blues. Was it Charlie? Where's the horn? Give me nothing but the blues. You gave me nothing, nada, nothing but the blues. You gave me nothing but the blues, baby, but I still go for you. You always lie to me, always been untrue. You always lie to me, mentirosa, always been untrue. You gave me nothing but the blues, baby, but I still go for you. You gave me nothing but the blues, but I still go for you. You gave me nothing but the blues, I still go for you. Probably back, way back, no, not that way long, not that back. Well, we had our parents were very, very giving and loving, and they would allow a lot of musicians, like a refuge house, to bring all these musicians and rehearse at our house. Yeah, we had the only one with a garage back then in the barrio, so I remember when I was a kid, with the Royal Jesters would rehearse there. Latin Breed, the West Side Sound was pretty much right behind my backyard, and they would all rehearse there. And I picked up a lot on these older cats, like Mr. McBurney. Remember Charlie McBurney? Let's not forget Charlie McBurney. Along with all the Escobedo brothers, Gibby Escobedo and Rudy Escobedo, with all the Latin Breed, and all my older brothers would play with these bands, with the Latin Breed and the Royal Jesters, so they kind of trained us to come up and play with like the Boy Scouts, like, well, he's gonna be next, so, and that's what I'm trying to do as far as our culture with the young people, because music is where it's at, right? Music soothes the soul, and music, we need to, give back our culture, and don't forget the younger generation coming up. And when I was young, I would hear all this, and finally, Al Gomez, big applause for Al Gomez,
Al Gomez.
Him and I started doing some research. And turned out that there was a guy named Jimmy Donnelly out of Louisiana, which died very young in his 20s, who had the sound of the West Side Sound, which was 2 tenor saxophones. And Sonny Ozuna incorporated that with a Huey Mo, which Huey Mo was a big record label back then. which Archie Bell was on there too. And the West Side Horns were there, recording all these hit songs, you know, that came from Huey Moe and the West Side Sound, you know. So the West Side Horns were there. Louis Bustos. Louis Bustos, right? Round of applause for Louis Bustos. And Jack Barber were there. So that's where we picked up most of the sounds that Al Gomez and I researched. But and still going on, and we got to pass it on.
Yeah, that's right. Well, actually, I am going to speak with the future generation in the next break, and it was fascinating because you just mentioned those artists from Louisiana, or the one artist from Louisiana, and that's actually someone who's been, I think, left out of the history books as far as this music is concerned, and so.
That was Jimmy Donnelly. You know, he wrote a bunch of hits, and he didn't even reach 30 years old. I guess he died in his late 20s.
All right. Well, we'll continue to listen to the music, and in the next break, we'll speak with some of the rhythm section players that you brought along today, who are also a part of your family. So, the West Side Horns on KRTU and the South Texas Jazz Project.
Hey, a red chicken, all right.
This type of music you could dance to. There's improving. I mean, everything that you want in music is in this West Side Sound. So we're very fortunate to. My father played, grandfather. There's a lineage with this sound. So actually, you know, I still consider myself a student of this particular music, which I'm really honored to be on stage and play with my uncle, both my uncles, and all these wonderful musicians. And Adrian Reese, who I've played with since I was a kid. Same with JP since I was a child, and same with Jay Ford. You know, all these guys gave me an opportunity when I was in my teens to be able to perform with them. You know, and now I'm here on stage, and I think our youngest member of the band is Chris. You know, so Chris is doing some amazing things musically in the San Antonio community. So we're just very blessed, man, and very fortunate. And it's funny that I'm standing here because the very first concert that I ever saw was Chick Corea on this very stage, which my uncle brought me to. So my Uncle Eddie, you know, I've been playing with him since I was about 6 years old. So I'm very fortunate to be in here, you know, playing with these wonderful musicians. So.
All right, thank you, Brandon. And one question for you, Adrian, because a longstanding member of the band that couldn't make it tonight, Al Gomez, the trumpeter. So you're more or less standing in for Al tonight, would you say? Trying to.
but the best. West Side, West Side. Hey, thank you. The Sunbergs. Thank you for the Sunbergs. Manager of the Sunbergs, eh?
All right.